All right, good morning, everybody. I think today I would like to touch on the topic of National Health Insurance, NHI, or whatever wording they want to call it. But we know that the president has it on his table. He's telling us he's looking for a pen to sign it into a policy. My take on it is very simple. I actually challenge everyone to do research on how much the government is actually subsidizing its employees who are all on medical schemes. The figure that the government is currently spending to subsidize all its employees, and then you add that figure to the national budget that is given to Department of Health, and you would arrive at a staggering figure that actually answers a lot of questions of where the national health insurance will be funded. Second point I would like to obviously address would be along the lines of duplication of Council of Medical Schemes, National Health having its own board and becoming its own another form of council. I would opt for an amalgamation of Department of Health run system, which obviously get rid of Medical Scheme Council and bring together every administration and all the authority and the regulatory bodies together to overlook and play oversight role on NHI. My take would be we shouldn't have duplicate or systems that are running parallel, rather have amalgamated type of system that actually looks after the entire society, regardless of class, race, and religion. So it's a indiscriminating type system. Doesn't matter how well off you are, it doesn't matter how poor you are. When you're sick, you will get intervention. And the third point is if you were to amass all the monies that are right now leaving the departments to cover the employees of government and the MPs, which last time we checked, it was sitting at 360 billion. And then you took that money and added to the budget that the Department of Health gets, which is a little bit less, about 40% less of that, 260 billion, 250 billion thereabout. If you took those two amounts, put them together, you can have facilities that are previously not well equipped, like government hospitals and government clinics, can be upgraded and be well equipped. You can afford to then hire more health practitioners to fill in the vacant posts. That answers the question whereby people will say, but everyone will be wanting to go to now accessible private health facilities and running away from government-run hospitals. But if you had access to that budget of over about 700 billion a year, and you are now able to standardize the service, so you're potentially going to get a situation where government hospitals and private hospitals over a period of time starting to offer a standardized service very similar to what you would get in private health, or meeting somewhere in the middle. But one of the nice things is a doctor or a health practitioner in private practice who's registered now and being accredited to be under NHI can also be opened up, and there'll be access to a high street private practitioner for anyone to go see him. One point entry system will mean that each doctor has a designated area. Obviously, the government just acquired that certificate of needs, which will assist in dispensing the doctors throughout the country wherever they see fit. But obviously, this will be done democratically, in a sense that the doctor will be given the right to choose. There's a need in this area. Are you interested? You apply, you move to that area, you service the popular. So basically, there's few things I've touched on. Funding would come from stopping subsidizing government employees with 360 billion, move that money towards the national budget of health. You have facilities that are not fit for purpose in government institutions or government-run hospitals. When you have funding, you can upgrade and bring the standard up. Vacancies, which we are also told that the government can fill certain posts. When you have a budget, you can fill those posts. And a doctor that's not so busy in the high street, in the CBDs, and in suburbs where the doctors half the time they see 2-3 patients a day, can now start seeing about 10 patients a day guaranteed to be paid from one fund. Administrators, a big problem. We don't need them. We have a middleman that operates between medical schemes and the doctor and the patient. They charge a bill or a fee to transact the money between. That will be done away with. There will be one administrator of the fund. You will be saving a hell of a lot of money. Instead of 100 medical aids, you'll have one fund. Instead of 2 budgets, one budget moving towards medical schemes to subsidize employees, one budget going to the hospitals and Department of Health, you'll now have amalgamated one fund that looks after health for the community at large. That's my 5-cent contribution to the national health. I have a lot more. Should you have questions, hit me on the DMs. We can discuss it further.